Good morning. This is part 2 of the bathroom makeover video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave the link in the description at the bottom. What we have here today is our bathroom vanity sink. I did order this on Amazon and it showed up in 2 separate deliveries. This is box 2 and box 1. I'll be putting this together. Once I have the cabinet assembled, then we will be making some modifications to the sink. We have some instructions, and here's the gray cutter we were going for. I have all the parts spread out on the floor. If you can, the best thing is to have a nice size workplace. But before we start assembling, I want to make sure this sink's okay because the box does look like it took a pretty nice hit. Okay, let's see here. Everything looks good. Here's a better look of our sink. Nice. Okay, after checking my list twice, what I do is I get a highlighter, start checking everything, going one by one to ensure I have everything, even with the hardware. And here's a tip. Do not use a drill for this. You want to do this hand tight only. Because if you don't have the torque right, you're just going to blow right through that. So just take your time. The instructions they're not that great, but you just have to be very cautious and pay attention to the photo. Count all those little screw holes. This way you know which is your up and your down. And if you look here, if you count all the holes, just like on the photo right there, then you'll know that this is where you're putting your screw in. It's a little complicated. Just take your time, pay attention to the picture, and you should be okay as long as all the parts are here. Customer service got back to me about 2 in the morning, and I'm happy for that because they shared information with me that is not on their assembly instruction manual. Now, how to separate N from M. You open it up all the way, flip it this way around, and right here, if you can see that, that's like a little clip. Ta-da! Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was that simple. I mean, when you don't know, you don't know. So I just put them on this little baggie just so you know the grease that they're using. I don't know what type of grease it is, but it didn't come off my fingers with Dove or Dawn. I had to use rubbing alcohol to get it off. Just something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue putting all this together. Also, anywhere where I'll be needing to install these wood dowels, I will be using some wood glue. You don't need to, but why not? And just like that, it's assembled. I like it. Here's our opening. Here's our drawer. And these are fake. These are just for show and tell. I'm going to change these knobs out though, with some knobs square matte black to match the towel warmer and our mirror and our light fixture. I also purchased some hardware for the bathroom. Same thing, matte black. It's a towel warmer. If I'm not mistaken, this is a six-piece set. Here's a bracket for a smaller towel. Also comes with a couple of hooks. And this is the faucet we'll be installing today. It's nice. Something new, more modern. What's this? Oh, it's the base. And this is the other pull-out faucet I'll be installing in the bathroom. Here we have our weight. This is also a matte black. Give you a better view of it out of the box. And to install this, I'm going to have to drill a hole. I also purchased a diamond hole saw kit just for this project. Hopefully it works, because once I pop a hole in this sink, it is what it is. Now, it's a pretty set. The real question is, would it do the job? Right now, I'm just trying to get an idea how far out I should drill my next hole. And from our kit, we'll be using the 35mm diamond hole saw. Now, just in case you want to do this as well, I'm going with center of 8-inch. Now, I recommend that you do this outdoors. Looks like it's about to rain, so I need to get to it. You should wear a dust mask, safety glasses, and some gloves for this. Here is the sink drain that I'll be installing. What's special about this one is a pop-up system. Also comes with a hair catching basket. So if you have a lot of ladies living in your house, you need that. And supposedly you don't need putty for this. These gaskets are all you need. And this is for the people that just don't know. You see that hole right there? That is your overflow hole. And if you purchase a sink drain with an overflow hole, the sink you purchase should have an overflow hole as well. Because if someone's using the bathroom and they do this, because they want to fill up their sink and they walk away and leave the faucet running without the overflow hole, your water's going to overflow onto the floor. If you have small kids, I recommend that you get the overflow hole setup. This is why you'll see in the store sinks that they look identical, but the difference is one has the overflow hole and the other one doesn't. And the price difference usually is around the $20 to $30 mark. But it's worth the extra investment so you don't ruin your floor. Now I know it does say you don't need the plumber's putty, but I'm still going to go ahead and put some plumber's putty, because if you look carefully, that's like a flat lip right there. And this is draining like a 30-degree angle. So there's going to be a small spot in there all the way around that is going to be not flush with that gasket. Here's the plumber's putty that I'll be using. And here's your sink's overflow hole. And if you look carefully, right in there. That's the other hole. So when your water rises and is overflowing, it goes in this hole, comes out that hole, into this hole, drains down your pipe. So when I'm installing this, I typically usually face this hole with that hole there. In the drawings it says to put it sideways, but I don't know about that. I've never done it like that, and I'm gonna just do it the way I always do it. Got the plumber's putty on there. Seal it on in. And here's your other gasket. The flat side stays at the bottom. Like so. There you go. Get that in there. Any excess putty, just peel that off. Now we're getting ready to install our short faucet. And here's the order of all the components. They go in this order. And if you look at our threaded pipe, you see that groove? That's the groove that goes inside those threads right there. So keep in mind, don't have it upside down. That's the wrong way. You need your stopper to be on the top end, because it gets screwed into those threads. Now that that's done, this rubber washer, flip your threaded pipe upside down, that rubber washer goes into that groove right there. Just tuck it in there. Once you have it nicely tucked in there, that rubber washer sits on your base, like so. But we're not doing that right now. Then we have our rubber washer, our metal washer, which is that one. Then, when you're screwing everything from the bottom, these bolts here come into contact with the metal washer, and that'll tighten up everything. And here we have our cold and hot line. Before you install these, make sure that both of them have their O-rings. It comes with 2 O-rings. If you don't have O-rings, then you're going to have to go out and get some, because you're going to need them. On the opposite end, make sure that those are in as well. Without these rubber washers, it's guaranteed to leak. Now, the instructions don't say which is hot and cold, but I'm a bet that here's your hot. So I'm assuming the very one that's in the front, that'll be your hot. And then the one in towards the back is your cold, because your knob will be on the side. Okay, so I got them in. It's a little tricky because it's very close. Look at that. There's like no play at all. So it's a little tricky, but it's doable. Now for our threaded pipe. Hand tight only. Now for our deck plate here. Get our supply lines in there. Rubber washer first. Then our metal washer, like so. And then this one locks it all in place. It's a little tricky, so you can't really see what I'm doing. Okay. And before you go ahead and tighten those Phillips screws, just make sure you have it lined up exactly how you want it. And what you want to be able to do is move your faucet side to side, that it doesn't move on you. That's how you know you got it nice and tight. As for this long neck faucet, your lines already come installed from the factory. The rubber washer is already in there, and make sure these are also on the end. Same concept, rubber washer, metal washer, and then you lock it in with this one. Now, as for the weight, you decide more or less what's the distance of your faucet that you want it to go. So I will say that'll be more than enough. Leave that dangling in there, then I put my weight. Okay, the next step is to make this sink disappear. Bam! It's gone, just like that. And these are the valves that I will be installing. This is a dual 1/2 inch push fitting valve, and we'll be dressing up the copper with some chrome. Basically, you just take your chrome plate, put it over top, and this is a copper sleeve there. That's how you dress it up. But I'll have to cut this down to size. Any of these cutters will do the job. And when installing push fittings, this gauge here is perfect. We're dealing with 1/2 inch. Find your 1/2 inch, insert it like so. With a Sharpie, make your mark. And what that does is help you know that your push fitting is all the way in. Once you see that your push fitting reached your Sharpie mark, you're good to go. Well, there you have it. That looks very nice. Unfortunately, I could not replace this here because this brass is actually soldered to the copper line on the opposite side. It's not PVC in this house. This house is all 2-inch copper lines right after this one. But that's looking good. We have our 2 cold lines connected, our 2 hot lines. And that's what I like about push fittings, because you can put it vertical or horizontal. If you see here, we can change it just like so. Also, I recommend mount your cabinet. I mounted it also on the top corner, and that's the bottom corner. And these L brackets, I had purchased an air conditioner and these brackets were in the box, and I just like to save hardware, and here it goes, came in handy. And here's our sink. It's nice. The only thing I'm going to have to do, we had that little glass shelving that was here, so I'm going to have to fill those holes with grout. There's nothing I can do about that other than replacing the tile, and I doubt I'll find those tiles. This is like 1980s perhaps. Just to show you how these work, put this down, that's warm, turn it towards you, that's hot, then you turn it back, and that's cold water. Turn it off, and this one here, and if you want to move this out your way, you move it out your way. Press the button right here. Look at that. Awesome. Close our valve, turn it to the side, open the valve. Now the wife could do her hair like they do at the salon. It's an awesome setup. And let us not forget our pop-up drain here. Nice. And we also purchased this. It's a 5-piece set. This one's for your roll of toilet paper. This one's just a hook for your towel. Another hook. And this one's to put a little towel to dry your hands. That was a nice set, and I only paid 40 bucks for it. It's a matte black and metal. And it goes with our towel warmer. It's been several weeks now, and I received the toothbrush holder. And these hooks as well are for razors or other bathroom items. This bar soap tray here is pretty cool. This is actually bamboo and plastic. Everything's matte black, so it just goes all together. I also replaced the knobs matte black as well, so everything matches. Not sure if I showed you the custom shelf that I made. If you want to see how I made this, that's in part 1 of this video. Part 1 I showed how I installed the all new electric, beautiful nice size mirror, the towel warmer, exhaust fan. So if you want to see that, that's in part 1 as well. So I'm gonna end this video here. If you're interested in any of these supplies, hardware, faucet, vanity, I'll leave those Amazon links in the description. Thank you for watching. And for those of you that stood to the very end, you're going to get now my 6-month review on the faucets and the vanity. As for the 2 faucets, we love them. They're working perfect. They've given 0 issues. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. As for this vanity, it's horrible. Absolutely 100% garbage. This is not wood. It's, if you look at this, it's already ruined. It's a little over 6 months. This is not even going to last me 2 years. You saw me do the install. Everything is nice and leveled the way it's supposed to be, but I'm assuming because there's like no grooves here where the water can dip back in, any water that's on your sink finds its way to the sides. Look at this. It's already ruined. Horrible. And that was not a cheap vanity. That was over 350 bucks. way too expensive to be purchasing something that's not actual solid wood. I'm going to leave it in the description, and I'm going to put do not purchase or do not buy. Save your money. This is why I make these YouTube videos, is because I don't want people out there wasting their money on garbage. That vanity is absolutely garbage and very expensive. And like always, like and subscribe so you can help my YouTube algorithm. More people can find my channel, and I can help more people out on not purchasing garbage like this. It's, you know, we work hard for our money, and then to make a purchase that's should give us at least 5 years is 6 months, and it's already basically. I'll keep you posted in another year and let you know how bad it's gotten, but in 6 months is already like this. I'm pretty sure it's going to eventually now to start to peel. Horrible. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.